So here we go. Super Saturday.
This Super Saturday from 2:30, the match of the round. It's the Dolphins and the Warriors.
There are blockbusters, and then there's what we have here.
Going into round 17, they're third and second on the table, going gangbusters.
Sprints away to score.
And get this, the last 5 times they've played one another, there's been nothing in it.
Wow, what else can you say?
Just 4 points or less. Fair dinkum nail biters.
The cake tin erupts.
There's the Hammer and Cobbo the Colossus.
Light up the candles.
Up against DWZ. He's on fire. Him and these halves.
The magnificent blast.
So there's the Dolphins and the Warriors to kick off Super Saturday, followed by the Cowboys and the Panthers. The incredible Jason Taumalolo playing his 300th for North Queensland.
Taumalolo ripping and tearing.
And finally, Saturday night, it's the Seagulls and the Storm.
Oh, it's on again. It's on again.
The latest edition of the never-ending Battle of Brookvale.
Here come the reinforcements. Oh! It's Manly versus Melbourne. What do you expect? Here we go again.
This Super Saturday, all live, all in 4K, and no ads in play, only on Fox League.
Hello and welcome to NRL 360 Rugby League from every angle. Joining me again, Luke Xerri. Let's bring the journos in, Brent Reid and Michael Carianis, and we've got a box office Super Saturday coming your way on Fox League Live. An exclusive. Kez, this sets up to be an absolute ripper.
Oh, 3 o'clock, Saturday afternoon. I'll be there, bro. Oh, I cannot wait. Like the Warriors fans at Magic Round,
Yeah.
I need that again.
You need it again.
I need it.
You need your fix.
I need that again.
The Battle of Brookie's my go. Northern Beaches, just down the road, Braith, and those two sides have got a long history. So hopefully,
Before we get to Mick, have you pulled a hemi again on
I've actually torn my hamstring. Yeah.
How many times have you torn muscles
twice.
this year?
Well, I've torn a calf and 2 hammies, Braith.
Is that why you
And I've
think-
actually got a bit of a sore groin as well, but anyway.
Time to retire, Reid.
No, I never retire, Braith.
Is that why you think Latrell should get 1.5? Mick, what do you reckon this week's going to be big?
I'll go the middle game then. The Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys need to get their season back on track, and Penrith with their big boys back will make another statement, I suggest.
What about the Melbourne Storm? Are they the dark horses now, Kez? Are they a genuine chance of causing a bit of a stir at the top of the ladder?
Yeah, they are. They are. They're chasing the pack now. They'll be there. I think they make that 8, and they're the one you don't want to run into when the whips are cracking at the end of the year.
Yeah, dangerous floater. You wouldn't want to play them if they're in the bottom half of the 8. They can do some damage with all those big game players, you know, the Munsters, the Harry Grants, the Jerome Hughes of the world. You know, if those guys are in form in September and they make the finals, they will be dangerous.
Yeah, no Jerome Hughes hurts them this week, doesn't it? But, yeah, they're tracking nicely after a start to the year I don't think anyone saw coming.
Well, it's been an incredible turnaround. I didn't even think the Melbourne Storm could turn it around the way that they have, how bad that they were going. It's a credit to them and Craig, given the circumstances surrounding him. And, you know, as we said last night, Munster, Hughes, Harry, they've all stood up and they're doing a great job. And they take on the Manly Seagulls. And Joey Walsh had some exciting news for Manly fans today with the young gun announcing an extension until 2029.
Thank you. Yeah, really stoked. Obviously been here a year and a bit now. It's just been great ever since I got here, so I'm just really keen to have that locked down.
How have you managed sort of coming in and out of the side?
Oh, to be honest, I've only had 2 games really, so Brooksy and Jammer are killing it this year, and the boys obviously going so well, so I'm not really thinking I need to be in there at all. Like, I'm just happy to be in and around the team.
There was moments there where we should have won the game and put it to bed. We didn't with execution, last pass, goal kicks. Obviously, my 2 hit the post and Rubes the missed one. For myself as well, like had a moment to ice the field goal, but didn't, and that's something that I've been working on. And obviously, there's going to be a bit of chat about that, and I know that I've got to improve on that. Same as my goal kicking.
Joey Walsh, the young gun, the Manly Seagulls prodigy. Great news for him and their fans that he has re-signed.
Yeah, outstanding. I think what he's done this year in his 2 games that he said, he's waiting in the wings. Like, I was in the same situation you were too, Braith. As a young half, you know you've got a few older blokes in front of you and you've got to bide your time. But at some stage, the cream rises and he'll take over. And it'll be interesting to see, does he go into the 6 there? Does he go into the 7? It'll be an interesting story over the next.
Let's dive a little deeper into that because, Yeah, we'll get to Fogarty soon, and Fogarty's still got that little... He's got to get the monkey off his back in big games and big moments, and we saw it in Canberra and saw it a little bit on the weekend against the Dogs. Joey, should they be persistent with him? Should they keep holding him back the way that they are, or is it time to give him a bit more of a taste?
Well, I think the results this year, when Kieran's been there, you have to hold him back. Those two have done a terrific job since Kieran taken over. To be honest, at the start of the year, if you asked me, I would have said it was Luke Brooks, the one that's under pressure. And Joey Walsh fits in as a 5'8". Jamal helps him, does all the kicking and everything. I feel if he came in with Luke, there's a lot of responsibility on his shoulder. He has to carry the team, direct them around. If it was him next to Jamal, I'd feel a lot more comfortable. But in saying that, with the results they've had, they're going to ride these two to the end of the year. And if they can't get it done in some big games at the back of the year...
Well, that's what I'm about to get to. Do you guys think they can win the comp with Jamal Fogarty in the halves?
He needs to, for Jamal's sake, he needs to win a golden point game before finals. Or you know what, he has to own a clutch moment before the finals. Otherwise, this is going to hang over him. It's probably the one question mark on his career. His club footy, his control's been great, but icing those big moments, we saw it happen in Canberra a couple of times. So until he gets that done, it's going to be the question mark. And I feel for him that he needs to own a moment before we get to the finals.
We spoke about Monday night. I don't know why all the talk is about Jamal Fogarty, because they've got Luke Brooks there as well. He's kicked more field goals in his career than Jamal Fogarty. So I'm not sure why we always focus on Jamal. I know he's the halfback, he's the number 7, but they've got a guy there, the number 6, who's played a lot of footy, right? And it's interesting, the Joey Walsh situation, right? Because Luke's only got 12 months left in his contract. Jamal's got 2 years. So they've got a decision to make in the next 12 months with Luke Brooks. And I think, you know, as I said, we talked about it Monday, Luke Brooks should be there as an option as well to kick that field goal when the game's on the line. I'm not sure. We put all the attention on Jamal.
Yeah.
But I think that's unfair on
I said it
Jamal.
months ago. I would have had... And for me, regardless of how good they're going, I would have liked to just give Joey more of a taste off the bench, just give him more of an opportunity because they may need him at the back end of the year in big games. I know he's young, but I don't care about age. I really don't. That's something I think if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Where do you get that taste? Because you can't pull.
I think there was a
No, I wouldn't say pull one of them. I would have had him coming off the bench at some point, maybe a bit,
a lock roll.
whatever it may be. Just get him in the game.
Great has been the surprising form of Brendan Wakeham.
That's true.
He's been out. I know he's injured right now, but he went through that period of playing 9 was outstanding for him in a position where
I'd rather Walsh than Wakeham though.
No.
And I'm not disregarding his form because I think he's been great.
I think that's probably... And the fact that they're winning has probably shifted that mindset.
Everything you said's right. And it's hard to drop a guy who's doing so well. If I'm looking big picture, grand finals, this kid's special.
But the fact that he's now contracted to 2029, is there a need to rush him in a side that's...
There's never a need. And there really isn't never a need. But I look at Premiership windows as well and I think, they're flying at the moment. They're not guaranteed to be flying forever. And I'm not saying it's a bad call. It's just something that I would have encouraged more of. And I go back to what you're referring to. Fogarty, the pressure's on him because I think the back end of last year, right, with Canberra, more so than Brooks. I think, but Brooks, his capabilities can definitely get him in position and help him a lot more and take those big moments as well, do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if they hadn't spoken about that situation. It looked like they hadn't really planned for that situation. They'll be, if they get another chance, Mick, like you said, they'll handle a lot differently. But with Joe, I think if he comes in, it has to be with Fogarty. I don't think him and Brooks will...
Well, I would even put him with Fogarty, and I didn't mind the idea of Brooks going to 9.
Well, I think that was the plan, but Brooks' form has been too good to move him. So I just don't know. I get what you're saying, but I just can't find a place for him at the moment.
I'm not being critical of him. It's just something that I would look to try and incorporate at some point, whether it's this year or not.
Well, particularly with the 6-man bench, if they get to elite, you've got that flexibility now of parachuting them into games if the game's sort of done in a way.
I don't know that you can do it now because you're fighting to win a competition potentially.
Yes.
But
I don't think you want to muck around with your halves.
He might be the one. I went through it, right? In 2013, I had 11 games off the bench. Right, John Sutton would move to the back row for 15 minutes a game. I had 11 games to taste it. Madge got rid of me for the finals, which was fine, but I knew what was expected of me. The year after, I get the chance in 2014. I knew I was ready because I had those 10 to 15 games to really sink your teeth.
Some kids are just special, and some kids that they're not scared of the moments, not scared of the big moments, not scared of the big stage. And I've got the feeling, everything I've heard and watched of him.
Was it the 2 diamond earrings that gave it away, bro?
You know what? I kind of like him. Reece used to rock that sort of stuff too, right? Like, and look what he did in the grand
He's
final.
got a bit of something about him.
He does. Now, the game I'm looking forward to the most, the Dolphins taking on the Warriors. Now, these two have emerged now as the biggest threats to Penrith, I believe, to win the Premiership, and they're going head-to-head here, Kez.
Yeah, well, it's these two. The Roosters are probably there in that 4th spot. Like, I think that top 4, it's not sewn up, but it looks like it could be, potentially Penrith, Warriors, Dolphins, Roosters in some order. But I cannot wait for this. Like, even I was out there at Campbelltown, that they rested those guys on purpose. I think the Dolphins going, we are all in next week. The Warriors, they're flying. Like, they are absolutely flying. They lose Jackson Ford. They have cover. They've got 4 front. Oh, we spoke about it last night. They're not going to miss a beat because he's out.
The Warriors have lost
Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Tuivasa-Sheck, Jackson Ford, Tanner Boyd. Start of the year, they lost.
Pereira's missing too.
I've lost.
Metcalf was Barnett. They lost at the beginning of the year. He's come back twice.
Think about that and what they've been able to do.
The depth's
I worry at some point it's going to catch up with them, Braith. I mean, I don't think they can afford to lose many more. Jackson Ford has been so important for them this year. And I know they've covered for Tanner Boyd and Luke Metcalf. And Metcalf's back, right? And at some point, I imagine...
Fisher Harris is still missing.
I imagine Metcalf will be in the halves at some point starting. But I just fear that you can't keep accumulating. They can't afford to lose too many more blokes.
I disagree. I think Barnett just covers Ford straight away. Like, Barnett's barely played this season. Yeah. He'll cover... He's a better player than Jackson. Like, he is a genuine state of origin player.
What about your thoughts on Reedy saying that Metcalf will come back into the halves?
I don't think he will. I think he wouldn't hesitate.
Mate, we're Queenslanders. We'll stick together, brother.
He wouldn't, get out of here. He wouldn't hesitate if there was an injury. But I think he loves what Tamari's doing. Like, you know what? It's a credit to Andrew Webster. He's built a system there.
Let's see who's in there at the end of the year.
They're starting
we'll have a little bet, you and I, a little side bet.
Metcalf by the end of the year.
You're not good at your bets.
No, I'm not.
I don't think you've ever won one. Anyway, Herbie Farnworth shut down talks of a move to the Roosters with the Stars centre free to negotiate at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's just media talk. We haven't spoke to anyone. I certainly haven't heard anything. So, yeah, like I said before, I'm just focusing on winning a comp. We got a really good run this year, and I don't want anything like that to sort of get in the way of the team. And yeah, I'm sure when it rolls around, I'll be speaking to the Dolphins first. So we'll see what happens.
The rumour mill. It's been noisy all around Herbie into the Roosters now for, I'd say, nearly all year. Yeah. Have you got an email for us, Reedy?
My gut, the information I'm getting, Braith, is this won't happen. It's not on. I know the rumours have been going around for a while now, and the sense I get is that rugby union's more of a threat for Herbie than the Sydney Roosters. Well, he dabbled with R360.
It can't be on with the Roosters, mate. It's not November 1.
No, but beyond after November 1, though.
Yeah, but you can't be
We speculate all the time about guys coming off contract on November 1.
I think it's been plucked
That's what we live off.
I think it's been plucked out of mid-air, this.
Well, many have been. Many have been.
Sometimes they come true, Luke.
When you throw enough.
I'm saying it won't happen. I'm saying I don't think it'll happen. I'm on the same page as you, brother.
I'll just leave you two out.
Newsflash. Maroons don't stick together.
No.
What do you think, Mick?
I still think the Roosters are a strong chance. I think they're a strong chance, Braith.
Would he fit in there, Kez?
I don't know, Braith. I haven't thought about it too much. Like, because obviously
he's a gun. He'd fit in.
I reckon he'd fit in right down at Ravisi's at Bondi. Don't worry about that.
It's hard for me to see why, like, what he's done at the Dolphins. He's obviously got a great relationship with Christian Wolf. That's a great team.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit.
At some point, their cap's going to bite, though.
But it's already biting, I think, Reedy, with the loss of Osako, Avarello, Cody Nikorima unsigned for next season. It's starting to hit him a little bit.
We're going to get to Avarillo, but when the news broke today about the Tigers deal, which again we'll get to, I'm thinking he'll struggle to make the team if he was coming in this week to the Dolphins team. With Boston.
Well, he's not in that starting 13. He'd be probably on the bench as cover. He's not.
That's how good they're going and how much depth they got at the moment. Bronson Xerri set to leave the Bulldogs. What's happening here?
Yeah, development there in the Bronson Xerri. Look, he's been seemingly unsettled all season, right? Played round 1, got dropped for round 2, and then there was talk of a release, which is a bit premature, but that situation has arisen again. Met with the Storm yesterday, flew to Melbourne, met with the Storm, has also met with the Eels. So Bronson Xerri's contracted until the end of next season. He won't be at the Dogs next year. The question is, does he move before June 30?
The great Bulldog Richie was right on this one.
Got it, Bulldog?
Because we spoke about this.
We did ages ago, yeah.
And I was pretty adamant too at the time that I didn't see Xerri staying at the club. You know, given the circumstances, they patched it up, and he eventually got back in and played really well when he came back in. But here we are again now, and it's an ongoing saga.
He's out of the side again.
He's out of the side. What do you think, Kes?
Well, but it makes sense to me because their two centres next year will be Stephen Crichton and Matt Burton. So, no, there isn't room for him. Look, we're going to see a new spine at the Bulldogs. Look, I can guarantee you there's a new 9, 7, 6 and 1. Galvin will be the 6. They need to find a 7, whether it's Conti, Mitch Woods, or they go and get one. I think Connor Tracy will move to maybe a 14 role. We'll see Carraz or someone. Like, it's literally the whole thing will be.
Well, they've also signed Freddie
will be turned over. He'll be their 9 because they don't have one at the moment.
I think he's a good signing for Melbourne, though. Melbourne short on outside backs. I mean, this weekend they got Howarth and Chan playing in the centres or named in the centres. To me, they're not even centres. Like Chan, definitely not. Yeah. Howarth has made a great fist of it, and I think he's a good centre, not a natural centre. And I think it's a real shortage for them, and he'd add a lot of value to them.
He's the type of player that goes down to Melbourne. You think about like a Chase Blair, Dane Nielsen, goes down, and Craig Bellamy gets the
Well, it's interesting both because Howarth's on the market as well. We keep hearing that he's got the ability to leave at the end of the year as well, Jack Howarth. So they might have another centre spot open up at the end of this season.
It's funny about the Jack Howarth situation. Let's go back to the pre-season when Melbourne and Parramatta were doing this argy-bargy over Zach Lomax. The player that Parramatta would have taken for Zach Lomax to be released, Jack Howarth.
Yeah.
And now he's seemingly on the outer, and the two clubs are fighting over Bronson Xerri.
Before we move on, could Xerri go before June 30?
I think he could. Whether or not he does, look, there's only 6 days before June 30. Definitely won't be there next year, and I think it's a chance that he's not there beyond this week.
All right, Dogs persist with Crichton at 6 this week. Thoughts on this, Kes?
Yeah, well, look, in my opinion, he's not playing 6, he's playing 7.
Okay.
Like he played.
What do you mean by that?
He played halfback on the weekend. He ran the ball 3 times. He did all the organising for him. He did all the kicking. He had 15 kicks to Galvin's 5. He didn't run the ball. He played halfback. Like, I watched it really closely. He was their number 7, and Galvin played number 6, and that's how it will be next year. But obviously Stephen won't be the 7.
That's interesting, isn't it? That is really interesting.
Do we like that when his asset is his running game?
He is their best option at 7.
I think you've got to persist with it. You can't get rid of it after 1 week. You've made the change. You've got to persist with it for a while.
For how long?
Well, I don't know, Braith. I don't know what the time is, but I imagine penning results, penning performances, but at least a few weeks. You've got to give it a go and see how it pans out. And if it doesn't work, you flip it around again.
Does show what, like, we're sitting here, rinse and repeat, different spine for Canterbury. Like, it just shows how the state of confusion they've got themselves in over the last couple of seasons.
If we were sitting at the start of the year and we predicted this, you would have said you were crazy. Honestly.
Like, Stephen Crichton at 7.
Stephen Crichton at 7.
6. Without an injury without an injury to Matt Burton particularly.
Yeah, and Burton's
playing in centres.
You know, they're trying to win.
I get it.
Win games.
I understand. I understand. No one's being critical of them.
We pick apart their halves every week.
No one's being critical.
You're jumping in shadows here.
Well, you are, because you're saying it talks about the state of confusion of the joint.
Well, of
That's
course.
Critical.
Well, do
That's being critical.
So do you think?
Do you not agree with what I just said?
No. But I'm saying you're saying we're not being critical. I'm saying you are being critical. I don't disagree with you.
No one's being.
But I'm saying you are being critical. You're saying there is a state of confusion. No. I don't disagree with you. But what I'm saying is you can't say I'm not being critical.
No one's
when
sitting
you
here
say
saying that they shouldn't have made the change because they needed to make a change because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
I know, I agree with you. But
so what are you arguing about?
Because you said we're not being critical.
Well, we're
and
not.
I'm saying you are.
I don't think we're being.
How can you say we're in a state of confusion?
It's not critical, really. They're stating the facts. The facts are, and Gus said it himself.
It's a critical fact.
Gus said it himself.
It's a critical fact.
Critical.
Gus said it himself. He goes, we got it wrong this year. We didn't know where the game was going. He said, he openly said it. He said, we just got it wrong about where we're going.
But I'm saying that is a criticism.
They're trying to find ways to win games this year.
You know what, Rudy?
What?
Thanks for the clarification. All right. Do you think it could be a long-term... I know we're kind of speculating around him being 6, 7, whatever. Could it be a long-term solution, him at 6?
No, because Galvin's their long-term 6.
Yeah.
So that they need to find a 7. They've obviously got Mitch Woods, Conti there.
What if
Galvin's their long-term 6.
Luke, and make the finals. I mean,
I think it'd be a mistake.
He's the best centres.
If they put a run of, if they win 8 of the next 10, make the finals, and win a couple of finals games, they're not going to win a grand final. Let's be honest. If they do that, how can you then turn around and go, well, that's not the way to go? Surely you have to.
Well, Gus has already said it. Galvin's the long-term 6. They've got a couple of young 7s coming through the club.
Yeah, but you said Crichton's playing 7 anyway.
But he's the best. That's what I mean, because they've decided to move Galvin to 6. Like, they're not going to play Crichton at 7.
Well,
he's not going to play.
I'm saying, what if they do get on a roll and win footy games with him playing 7?
Yeah, that will be great. And they've won 3 from their last 4, and it's a possibility that they can do that. And if they do that, they stick with it, obviously. But they, like you said, they can't win a grand final. And what is the goal of every team in this competition every year?
Well, to win a grand final.
Yeah, so if you're saying that, then it's probably not the long-term.
I'm saying they can't win a grand final this year because they're too far gone
already. But they could win
already.
it next year with him in the halves.
Well, I just think there's no longevity in it. Like, I can understand why they don't. I'm not being critical. I can understand why they're doing it, but it's not the long-term solution.
I think they would agree with that. I actually think that their fans and their coaching staff would agree.
I think most people would. But what I'm saying is, what if they happen to string together a series of wins?
You'd say, awesome, we salvaged the season, but we're not going to do it next year.
2023, we were in the same rut where we were at Melbourne. Joey Manu, we played him as a lock in attack, right? Yes, it was all well and good. We went on a big run into the finals and then got knocked out. And when we went in the pre-season, went, well, that's not sustainable. You go back and play centre.
Okay.
Well said, Luke. Finally, you've put him in his box.
Great Queenslander. Thanks, mate.
I mentioned it earlier with Averillo. Tigers confirm his signature today. What are the details around this, Mick?
Yeah, 4-year deal for the Jake Averillo next season. It's big money. It's my understanding the Sharks, Dragons, even Manly had a look at him, but were blown out of the water by the Tigers' offer. I think it will average around $700,000 over the course of the 4 years. So in that last year, it will nudge that $800,000 mark. He'll play centre next year for the Tigers, but he's an option, long-term halves option at the club, considering that Jerome Luai is off to PNG after the end of the next season.
This is a really good deal for him. 4-year deal?
4-year deal.
And he has been prone to injuries and he's been at a few clubs and he's in the centres for, over $700,000 a year. That's pretty good money.
He's a good player, but when you talk around price points, that's why the Dragons, Sharks and Manly said, probably not for us at that value.
He's played some 6, though.
Is he a replacement for Luai, do you think?
It's going to be interesting to see. Like, you bring him to the club, he'll play centre next year. He'll get to ease his way into it, but he's not proven to. He's not a proven NRL player at 6. Like we even said, he's probably not going to make this Dolphins side. It's going to be interesting. And Benji's probably looking at, he's a 5'8", so he's probably looked at him and gone, no, I can work with Jake.
A lot of faith from Benji, Reedy.
Yeah. Well, as Luke said, he's obviously seen...
That's very critical.
He's obviously...
That's a critical side.
As Luke said, he's obviously seen something, and Benji knows 5'8", right?
Yeah.
So, and he's played 6, as I said. I think he started his career as a 6, didn't he, at the Dogs? So he's played a bit of 6,
Listen, he's got speed to burn.
Yeah.
And in the modern game, he can add a lot of value. There's no doubt whether it's centre or 6. And they've bought a lot of players lately off the back of Luai. Do you think this could be a little bit of a panic buy, or are we confident in it being the right decision for the club?
Well, they need to find a replacement for Luai, didn't they, right? So I don't think there were a lot of options out there for them at the time. As I said, he's played 6. Benji's seen something in him, and they've been on a spending spree. They're obviously limited in what they can spend because they've spent so much money already. And I know his price tag's pretty high, but, I'm backing Benji.
The spending sprees around the re-sign is Taruva, the May brothers, Makasini. They've locked them all in off the back of Luai leaving the club. So, look, I think he's a really good NRL centre.
Yep.
The question marks will be, and they're not locked into playing him at 6, right?
Yes.
It's an option once Jerome leaves, but he walks into that back line next season.
Yeah, it's a good option to have, I suppose, to use him at centre or 6, and as I said, with the speed he's got, and he's a dangerous player. Now, Adam Doueihi is set to return for the Tigers as the club hunts to break their finals drought.
No, it's been good, just the usual rehab phase. I've never done my shoulder before, so it was something different and unusual for me, but I guess we intended to try and be back a few weeks ago, but we just wanted to take every precaution and make sure all the testing was done right. Yeah, we're good to go this weekend.
It's the first time since round 8 that the starting spine is playing together.
Yeah, it's hard. We've had obviously a lot of injuries over the past few months, and yeah, just to see how well we started the season with, I guess, our full team on the field. Obviously the bright side to it, and I guess slowly we're starting to get some of our players back, and yeah, just want to form that combo again and put our footy on and see where it takes us.
This is a big in for the West Tigers. Adam Doueihi, in my opinion, their best player this year. And before he got injured, and they missed him severely. It impacted their team and their run of wins and got them a bit off track. I know they had a lot of injuries, but Adam, that's a welcome return for him.
Well, he's their best player to start the season, and they get another key in Alex Twal back, who's been their best defensive player all year too. So it's 2 massive ins from them, and they need to start winning. Yeah. They need to start winning. They just got away with that Titans game there at Leichhardt. They were brave last week. They lose Madden, they lose Patrick Herbert in the centres. They were brave, but they need to start winning. I want to see Doueihi and Luai together and go after it.
If Doueihi can get close to the form that he did before the injury, plus what Jerome's produced in the past fortnight, that makes them very lethal. They haven't been in sync in that sort of way so far this year. Obviously, injuries have cruelled that combination, but if they can play, if they can get back to that level, both of them, they could be very dangerous on Sunday.
Let's not sell short what Alex Twal's done for them this season. He's been immense for them, There was even Origin talk with him at one point. So they're just huge ins for them. Yeah. For a club that's struggling for form and confidence.
Have you still got them in the top 4?
It's going to be hard for me, Braith. It's going to be hard. Top 8. I still think they can make the top 8.
Yeah.
Well,
no doubt.
You've got Melbourne in your 8. Who's dropping out?
I don't know. Show me the 8 and I'll tell you. You got it in front of me.
Sorry, Reed, I couldn't help it. Perth Bears, news today that they are set to receive help from the NRL, which I think is much needed, and I encourage this. What's the mail on this?
Look, there's a commission meeting next Wednesday, I believe it is, where they're going to talk about this. It involves dispensation of around $500,000, which they can use on one player. They can use it on 3 or 4 or 5 players.
Or split it up or use it
split it up. Well, it's hard to use on one because I think the maximum amount you can use is 20% of a player's salary. So to be able to use $500,000, you'd have to be on 2 million or whatever. So that's unlikely, right? But they can spread it around amongst 5 players, maybe use it on 2 players, and it just gives them another $500,000 to spend on a marquee player, I guess, or marquee players.
Yeah.
Not sold on, are you, Mick?
I don't have a huge issue with it, but I feel like they've sort of been rewarded for their lacklustre start. Whereas you've seen PNG hit the ground running, and off the back of what PNG have been able to do, Perth are playing a little bit of catch-up in a way. So,
did PNG hit the ground running because of the tax?
Definitely, and the big thing around PNG that we're all PNG have had they're going to get 2 cracks at November 1, guys. Perth didn't have that opportunity, right? So they started behind the 8 ball, but they've had.
Saying that, Perth have got a lot of cap room there.
They've got a huge amount of cap room.
Huge and they still haven't landed a big fish.
Correct. So they're in prime position, right?
You can't just say, well, PNG, they have the tax-free dollars, but they've got a lot of money there, Perth, to get a big name player.
They do, but will they land that play? That's the question, right? Because the squad's very solid.
Them.
It's on them, right? And it's been on them so far, right? But their squad's very solid. They've built a very solid squad.
Very solid? I'm not so sure. I'm a bit worried. Let's have a look at their current squad because I had a look at this today and I suppose you could say it's solid, Mick. I'm going to come to you, Kez. What do you think about their squad so far?
Yeah, there's some solid plays there, but let's be brutally honest. There's one starting player in an NRL team in that team, and that's Sean Russell at the moment. And if Panasini was there, he may not be in that team.
Well, Nick Meaney
was starting. Yeah. That's
it's a bottom 4 squad at the moment, right? Because it just lacks star power. We've said it constantly, right? And I know we've heard the names they've been linked with, Matt Burton, Cam Munster, guys like that. They've been hovering around and hoping that maybe they'll become available at some point, but they're not going to be able to do anything until November 1. So we're just going to have to wait and see. That's the problem. And in November 1...
Is that for the year after?
For the year after. So that doesn't help them next year. But what you do is, League, we know how it works, right? You go and get a bloke signed in November and hope the club he's at releases him to free up space, all that sort of stuff. So that's what they've got to try and do because at the moment, there's no marquee players available for next year.
They'd be hoping to this cap deepen...
relief
will maybe get that 1 or 2 big fish even. Because I find, I know being through the experience myself when I was nearly going back to South years ago when they were starting from the bottom up, you wanted someone else, you wanted a high quality player to make a call because then you could go with them and then you know that the team's going to be strong and you've got another guy there that's, a rep player or of high calibre you're not going to be on your own trying to, no disrespect, but you're going to have a lot of pressure on you to try and get that team.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Is Cameron Munster going to go November 1? And would he consider Perth?
At the moment, we're trying to sort that out with Melbourne. So we've asked Melbourne, you know, because Trippy's been very outspoken about it, and it's like, okay, if you're saying that you're going to keep Cameron and offer Cameron a contract, well, what is that contract? Because that's going to be important to us, whether we do go to November 1 or not, and Cameron will have a decision to make. Cameron loves the club. He's shown that, like in the past, when he's been offered, you know, money from the Dolphins and everywhere else, and he's always stayed for less. He really has. So, yeah, it's a big decision now for Melbourne because look at his form now. You know, he's playing really good again. So I would say we're thinking that they will put an offer to us before November 1 to stop him from going there, but we haven't received one. So that's kind of where that's at. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jonas.
It like physically used to shake when you know the para and the whole joint would rock.
Yeah, we're in there getting changed, and all of a sudden you see the dirt coming down. You think, oh, we must have screwed.
Oh, the dummy by Kenny. Oh, intercepted by Brett Kenny. Put the glasses down, ladies and gentlemen.
Not many of our 80s heroes could say that they would still be cutting it in the modern game.
Probably born that way, and I'm thankful that I was.
Kenny's going towards the corner. He's in.
Brett Kenny and Peter Sterling, a blue and gold dynasty.
People used to say to me, it's like you guys just knew what you were going to do beforehand.
Sterling dummies to Price. Gives it to Kenny.
Speed, the swerve, the in and away.
The fans love that sort of football.
Oh, intercepted by Brett Kenny.
It was just for the supporters of Parramatta because they've been put down so many times. They say, well, we've got the best rugby league team in the world now.
Welcome back. Time now for Legends Agenda with Brett Kenny and Billy Moore. And Bert, there was a lot of highlights on that one, mate. I can't wait to watch this one face to face with Von Sampson. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, well, I've changed a little. Only a little since then, but yeah, it was good. It was a good interview. It's good to watch some of the old footage there. Some of the things I'd forgotten about.
Yeah, nice. You deserve it. You deserve all the accolades you get. Now, what about the Maroons? Game 2, they were pretty bloody good. What did you think about it?
Too good, actually. It was an amazing game. You know, the way we started, I thought we were a good chance here. You know, this will be all right. And then, you know, to me, you shouldn't lose when you're leading 12 or more points. You shouldn't lose. But to Queensland's credit, you know, they just controlled the football, and that was the biggest thing. They controlled the ball. Once they did that, they were very hard to stop. And you got someone like Harry Grant in the dummy half. You think, God, how are you supposed to stop that?
Hard to handle. Billy, you would have loved it.
Yeah, I was there. The crowd, to start out, the atmosphere was amazing, 92,000. But Bert's 100% right. We completed at 95%.
Yeah.
When you do that, straight away, your chances of winning increase. New South Wales, 12 errors. But for me, it was our spine. The guys who touch the ball the most, they come to the fore, especially in the second half. Fatigue set in. Harry Grant was amazing. Munster, wow, what a performance. Sam Walker, where's his ceiling? I think there's so much more to see in this kid. I can't wait.
How good has he been? Like, we had him here last night.
Yeah.
Well, did you expect that from him?
I hoped. I thought the DNA. But what I'd seen enough of him, you thought this guy would be good. But as we all know, Origin's the next level. You can't train for it. And we're just chatting outside. It takes 15 minutes before you know whether you can do it or not. And if you can't, you just can't. Yeah. What Walker has shown, he's composed. Mate, his kicking game, he kicked for like 75% of the kick metres. Everyone thought, he's got a popgun kick. He doesn't. And everyone said he can't defend. He has. So he's adapted and grown. So, mate, I think Walker's ceiling is phenomenally high. And another thing for Queensland, we've got this luxury. There's a bloke called Tom Dearden, pretty fair player, who's hanging around.
What would you do, Bert, there with, you obviously keeping Sam back in. What did you think of Sam? And it's a bit of a dilemma there with Dearden waiting as well.
Well, no, for me it wouldn't be too difficult. I would bring Dearden back in, but he would be in the squad. That would be about it. I mean, you can't drop Walker. Yeah. I mean, gee, he plays like a guy that's been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking this guy's, what is his first year in first grade this year or second year, and he's playing Origin and he's controlling the game like he's an old veteran.
What about his halves partner? We were just speaking about him, Cam Munster. You played against Wally. Where does Cam rank in terms of great Queensland halves?
Oh, look, he's still got a little way to go, but he'll be the next great 5'8" for Queensland. I've always felt Cam Munster he could play in the 80s. You know, he's that type of player. He could have played in the 80s and still shone.
What I think about him, watching the highlights of the game, he's in that upper echelon. Lewis, Langer, Lockyer, Thurston. He's on that same pedestal now. Lewis is always the one because he's, you know, I grew up watching him. Yeah. His vision, though, I think Munster's vision exceeds all those other players. That's drawing a big bow, but his ability to do those cross-field kicks, and he assesses the situation, you know, at mind-boggling speed and precision. I just think the other thing that he's got, out-and-out confidence. You know, he just knows how to step up when it matters the most. In the biggest of games, the biggest of moments. I always said, for me, give the ball to the best player on the park. He's the guy that gets the ball right now.
It's amazing how, you know, like it was only weeks before Origin 1 and he was wondering whether he was going to be selected, and obviously Billy's thought, mate, you're the captain, we know what you can do. He's put him in the side, and then you look at the way he's been playing since Origin. It's just amazing.
What about the Blues? I'll come to you, Bert. What's going on with them?
Why are you laughing?
Oh, no.
What did you think of their performance and where they got to be better?
Well, look, I just think, you know, they started well, but they just got to realise you've got to keep doing that for 40 minutes. And as Billy was saying, you know, I don't know whether they understand it, the game, how fast the game is. It's a lot quicker than an NRL game. And you know, you go out there, you've got to be prepared to die because that's what it's going to be like. You know, as Billy said, you find it hard to breathe and everything. And I just think when they got to that, they scored those first 2 tries, realistically, they didn't do anything to create those tries other than kick the ball into a Queensland player and having a Queensland player knock on. I mean, we didn't create any tries. And I think that's one of the biggest problems we got. We don't seem to be able to create things and make things happen, and that's what you've got to do.
How do you do that? Like you played Origin as a 5'8", how would you do that with that?
Well, I think you just got to look at situations and play what's in front of you, but we've also got to look at it and not get caught up in the thing where we're inside our 30, so we just hit it up. You probably the best thing to do is to
too structured. Do you think?
Yeah,
a bit too structured. They play.
That's what we are. We're too structured, and we need to start throwing the ball around. And if you think about it, every footballer virtually thinks the same way. So if you're defending against a team inside their 30, you're expecting them to hit the ball up. Well, you don't do that. We start throwing it wide now.
The obvious solution is right there, a bloke called Appy Coruscant. From a Queensland perspective, I'd be absolutely nervous if, when fatigue sets in, all of a sudden Coruscant comes off the bench. Because you think about Grant is where it all started. If you can break around the dummy half, the defensive line it basically collapses on itself and the holes open up. Coruscant's the guy that can take advantage of that. So I think it should be used.
Were you shocked with the rotation?
Yeah. Well, I was happy with it. But I think Coruscant's too big a weapon not to use, especially in a game like that. When we talk about Munster rising, Coruscant is one of the smartest players I've ever seen. He will rise to the occasion. I would definitely use him.
Billy, just changing tune just a little bit. Perth Bears, we know you're an ambassador there.
Yeah.
What have you made of it so far? There's obviously been a lot of chat around the Bears. We just had a look at the team for next year, the dispensation that's being talked about. What have you made of it all?
Dispensation's great. Is it too late? No, it's not. It's perfect timing, actually. The next 2 to 3 months is going to be the key signing period for the Bears. And the next probably 5 or 6 players, that money's going to come in handy. I'd like to have some other names there as well, some bigger names, but they'll come. But the key thing about that squad, there's only one bloke that's over 30, Scotty Sorensen, and he's got great habits. The rest of those players are all under 30 and their best football's in front of them. So they're picking a squad where, if you take the Dolphins, for example, the Dolphins, you know, this is year 4 and they're going to play finals for the first time. Those guys there on that list, you know, it's all about them stepping up a gear over the next 12, 24, 36 months. And then all of a sudden goes, oh, how good are they going? So at the moment, people go, oh, geez, I know, but there's rough diamonds in there. I'll take some polish. The key thing is good habits, working hard, playing tough.
And development and coaching too. They've got to get 100%. These guys ready for the next sort of 12, 18 months down the track, you know. If they can add a few star power to these guys.
I'd say you're right. 1 or 2 big stars and all of a sudden that squad ignites. A great thing is the new GM of football, Gareth Holmes. He's currently with the Bears, great DNA. But he's been at Parramatta, he's been at Manly, he's been at the Dogs. He's been with Australia. He's a great acquisition and he takes over in July.
But what about the Parramatta Eels taking on the Bunnies tomorrow night? You give them a good chance?
Oh, I'll give them a chance, yeah. You know, I mean, they're playing at home. You should expect to win games at home, and but it's going to be tough. You know, the Bunnies are a good side. I know they've had injuries, and obviously Latrell Mitchell not playing. We've got Mitchell Moses back, so hopefully things will start to work. The halves have been going well before when Mitchell was out. But yeah, I think you've got to give them every chance to win the game, but they need to dominate in the forwards, and that's where I think they're going to win.
They're playing
the
pretty
game.
tough, Para, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they've been brave. Mitch comes back, isn't a little bit.
And
of
they've had injuries as well as every other team has, but yeah, they've been going okay. They've just got to try and keep in touch with that 8.
All right, who will deliver this week? Thanks to Macca's 99-cent Mick delivery.
Game 1, Super Saturday. What a game! 3v2 Finns versus the Warriors. Be 45 to 50,000 there.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic, mate. What a game!
I'm with you on that one, Bert. What do you reckon?
Mate, I'm the same. I've got that down. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think the Dolphins have been unbelievable. The same with the Warriors. You don't sort of see much of the Warriors when they're over there in New Zealand, but the Dolphins, I just think they've been outstanding.
One quick thing on that. Both nines, if we look about how important nines are, think about the 2 nines in that game. Xerri Marshall-King, Wade Egan, just shows you've got to have a good 9.
Yep. Similar styles and very underrated, both of those guys. Stick around, Legends, and tonight at 7:30pm on Channel 506, it's the latest edition of Motor Racing 360. Welcome back. Time now for Ain't As Good As It Once Was, and tonight we're chatting about Origin coaches. Billy, you've got a couple for us that you enjoyed playing under me.
Yeah, well, obviously the Fatty Vorton era, 1995, but everyone forgets Fatty was essential, but that bloke there, Chris Choppy's close. He had the managerial tag, but that side would not have done what it did. Fatty was great, but Choppy was the glue.
Yeah, pretty miraculous, wasn't it? What Fatty was able to do here.
Yeah,
and Choppy, of course.
Yeah, obviously with the people around him, because before game 1 of that series, of that squad, only one bloke had played for Australia, and that was Dale Shearer. The rest of us hadn't played. We all went on after, but they made us believe.
Any X's and O's with Fatty?
Fatty was very simple. Well,
I remember on his face-to-face, he said, I didn't know what to do.
Well, training session 1, we've run out after being strapped with Herculean sort of speech by Fatty. We've gone out and he basically had set nothing up. And he goes, run around the goalpost, come back to me if you're last year doing push-ups. So under-8 stuff. It was like, you're kidding me.
Oh, that's so good.
It worked.
What about you, Bert? With coaches?
Oh, yeah, we had a few good ones. But Ronnie Willie was one that, I just loved listening to him talk. And I remember, I think it was game 1, and we've gone into camp. And the weekend before we played at Parramatta, and Sterlo had actually put a little chip kick over inside our 20-metre area, and because the opposition caught it and scored. So we go into camp, and then Ron said, come on, boys, we've got to get on the bus, and we're going into Sydney. We went down to King's Cross, and I'm thinking, oh, this could be all right.
Could be fun.
What are we going to do down here, King's Cross, And we drive along the main street, and we got up to where there was a park, and all these guys are sleeping on the park benches, and Ronnie said, Sterlo, he said, yeah, mate, what's wrong, Ronnie? He said, see those guys over there sleeping on the park bench? He said, yeah. He said, they used to be halfbacks kicking inside their own 20. Got on the bus and just went back home. That was it.
You still do any chip and chases from his 20 or 30 again?
Oh, no, never did that again.
Good on you, Legends. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next time. And tonight, Aussie Liam Paro fights for his 2nd world title, plus Nelson Asafa-Solomona takes on George Burgess. Order now on Main Event. Welcome back. Time now for an update from Sportsbet with Joel Kane. Jolie, what have you got for us this week? Love the beanie too. We've got the beanies, Mark Hughes Foundation. How good is it?
I love it. I dreamed of this. Kiri and Asta, Kane out the back, beautiful stuff. I dreamt of it. I'll tell you what, boys, it has been a wonderful, situation with the beanies for brain cancer. 10 years now, Sportsbet's getting around over $600,000 raised, $1,000 per meat pie. So if in doubt, we have try, if you don't mind. We're expecting about 67 tries. That's kind of the average in a full round. So let's find some try scorers where we can start spending. Parramatta have an issue with defending the kick. They're the worst in the comp, and particularly on the right-hand side. South happened to be the best in the comp, finding a try on the left-hand side. The common denominator is that man who hasn't won a competition in the number 6 of South Sydney. Somebody has in this desk, just quietly. But he's getting very, very close. He should have won a Clive just about had they won it against Penrith. But Cody Walker, he's the common denominator, right? So we look towards him. Boys, what I like to do is make my own little bingo card. So I can sit there, watch Fox League and tick them off any 5. Who do you see there scoring for us?
I'm going to go Iongi.
Iongi, I'm going the early crow. I'm going to tick it already.
I think that right edge. I reckon AJ.
AJ, righto.
Oh,
there we go.
That's an easy one.
Easy.
It's good fun. Make your own little list like this. You sit back, watch Fox League, living the dream if you don't mind. Dreams are free. Get around it. You can copy it on the feed. So I've put it on the feed. You can copy it already, or you can go to the NRL Weekly Hub, however you like it. And Asta, Xerri, Kane out the back.
Kane out the back. Thank you very much.
Love
On you, Joey. Love your work. Don't forget to get your beanies and support the Mark Hughes Foundation this week. That's it for NRL 360. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Kez. Time now for the Fan.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.